warm welcome to everybody. It's really nice to see so many of you here because, well, image data is important and making it fair is actually important for not just for us, but for the whole community. So I would like to start this workshop by telling you a little bit about Euro-BioImaging and what is our intentions towards making image data fair for the whole of the scientific community. So just to get started, let me tell you a little bit about Euro-BioImaging. So Euro-BioImaging is a European research infrastructure consortium that provides open access to biological and biomedical imaging technologies. We are composed of 19 member states, that is 18 countries and EMBL. We have 41 nodes. And as you can see this map with all these little pins around, we have a lot of facilities that are part of Euro-BioImaging that offer over 100 different technologies. So really producing a lot of image data and really empowering the researcher community with image data, imaging technologies and the use of that technologies and to produce image data is our forte. So what kind of technologies am I talking about? Well, pretty much everything. As you can see, our technology portfolio is wide. It goes all the way from atomic level imaging to animal imaging and human imaging. So you can really see whatever technologies benefit your research. And all you have to do to access these technologies is go to our Euro-BioImaging web portal, where you can browse through all these technologies and see what is applicable for your research. So these are things that we bring to you all. And here at pretty much at the bottom today, but you see that we also provide image data analysis technologies, which is, well, pretty important nowadays because image data is growing and we want to have better ways of dealing with that image data. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more in details about these services that we are offering. So whenever we see images like this, we see a lot of information. And well, there's also a lot of beauty in these images, isn't it? So with all these instrumentations that Euro-BioImaging can offer to the scientific community, you can produce a lot of this data, which will be beneficial for your research. But I must say that handling all of this data can be a bit of a nightmare for some of the people. So at Euro-BioImaging, what we really want to do is to help people, let's say, ride this data wave instead of just drowning under the tsunami of image data. Now, how we can do that for our users, I will tell you in the next few slides. So it is, however, important to understand there are peculiarities behind image data. Like just the sheer size of image data. The data tends to be very large. It's very simple to say that you have gigabytes and terabytes of data per single experiment, and it's not just the size, but also the complexity of the data is pretty high, because often we are working with data not just from imaging technologies, but also with other multimodal data sets, which are other technologies around the image data. This also makes the data formats as well as metadata formats harder to deal with. So there is a diversity of instrumentation, and with that comes a diversity of file formats and so on. So these kind of challenges are something that we face already in terms of being able to work with the data, but also in order to share it with the larger community so that you can have a more rigorous research as well as potential reuse of this very large and informative data. These are the kind of challenges that we need to work through. Now, image data, of course, it can be of like an open data nature, but some of the image data can also be specific to individual humans, which would raise concerns around security and legal issues in terms of data sharing, as well as ethical and social issues towards data sharing. So in order to really make image data as a resource that the community can use and reuse, we need to deal with a lot of these issues. And I'm going to tell you a few ways in which we are trying to help the community with these. So first of all, whenever we want to share this data, we don't just want to make a lot of this data just openly available to people and they don't know what to do with or make sense of it. So in order to do all this, we want to make sure that our data is fair or findable, accessible, interoperable, and potentially reusable. So with these important concepts in our mind, we are offering some services that can be useful for you and the larger community. Now, the first category of services that we are offering are image data analysis services. Now, these services are offered by our nodes. So you remember this map that you saw earlier with all these little pins, which are fantastic facilities that are scattered all around Europe. The expert bioimage analysts in these communities, in these facilities, can actually help you with your image data. So what we are opening up right now, and again, more and more nodes are starting to offer this, is image analysis as a standalone service, which means that if you as a researcher have produced image data wherever you are, but are having troubles trying to analyze these data sets, once again, you can go to our web portal and apply for image analysis as a service, and you will be paired up with one of the expert nodes who have experience not just with the particular kind of imaging technology, but also a lot of these biological workflows that produce a specific kind of image data, and they will be more than happy to help you through this. Well, while we are doing this, we are also promoting fair image analysis practices, because again, these workflows we try as much as possible are more and more reusable by the community in general. And we also promote exchange of experience amongst people, amongst bioimage analysts, so that they can also learn from each other through expert groups that we support at Euro-BioImaging. So with that, I would move to the next slide and tell you a little bit more about other activities that we are involved in. So one of the major activities we are also involved in is a lot of Horizon Europe projects. So again, this is a busy slide and you don't really have to go through all of these projects that we are involved in. But there are some that I would like to mention today briefly. So first of all, we are actually part of the European Open Science Cloud as a provider for open science, or like supporter of open science on a European level. And through that, we can actually have access to a lot of projects, or we can deal with specific aspects of making image data open. The one that I want to specifically talk about today is also, or like highlight today, is the BioCovid project, because to a very good degree, this workshop today has been possible because we have support from the BioCovid project, where we are providing image data stewardship as a service. And you just saw our image data steward, Isabel Kemmer, who started to kick off the meeting today. So here we are also trying to make the image data specifically related to COVID-19 pandemic openly available for researchers, so that a lot of immediate research could be done because that data is openly available. So that was very, very timely project and helped us do a lot of important things. With that, I would also take one more moment to mention to you another project that we are working on, which actually supports providing fair and open data, but also at a global level. So again, Euro-BioImaging is already pretty wide. We have a big network all across Europe, but with this project, we also have the opportunity to work together with our partners in Japan and in Australia to have common ways of describing open data by working towards common ontologies and metadata. And please do not worry if some of these words sound foreign to you, because this is exactly what the workshop today is about, for you to understand concepts around fair image data. So you will hear a lot about this, but this is just to highlight the fact that although we are trying to solve this problem at different levels, we are also working globally towards it, such that if we actually formulate a resource which contains a lot of this image data, the whole global community is able to use and make use of this open data. Just as a heads up for people, we actually work with the whole community, and we will also have an event this year in Okazaki in Japan, which is open to all researchers. And we invite you to join us there to have a conversation on a global level about data sharing. So in addition to support verification of image data, we are doing other activities as well at Euro-BioImaging. We are working with existing international communities, and I really hope some of you can identify some of these logos, because again, we are working in a very active community, and I see that many of you are also part of these communities. So you're more than welcome. And this is just a shout out to say that we really like to work with everybody around the globe in specific fields, in specific domains, to make sure that we are aware of the developments in all these communities. We are also supporting tools development, and a little bit more of it will come during this workshop as well, where we are supporting open file formats, which again is helping towards making data openly available and more reusable by people. We're also supporting activities around access to compute through the Galaxy platform and how you can use image data there, as well as remote desktop solutions and tools around data management systems for preclinical and clinical image data. So a lot of these things, activities are ongoing, and I know it might sound like a lot of information unloading on you all, but we are more than happy to tell you more about these things. So please, in that case, just reach out to us. We are always happy to help you. And last but certainly not the least, but very good place to start for today is how we support FAIR data. So we are working very closely with some of the open image data repository, and I'm very happy to say that you will hear from some of them today. And not just data repository, we also are starting to establish metadata repository dedicated to preclinical data at Euro-BioImaging called PIDAR. And we are also supporting FAIR image data stewardship as a service. So with that service, we are able to provide one-on-one consultations for users, for them to be able to formulate their data and arrange their data in a way that you can have an easier submission to these open image data repositories. And again, Isabel, my colleague, is the one taking care of these services. And that's not it, not just one-to-one consultations. We are also able to do events like this workshop for you.